blue pill or the red pill? Which one would you take?
Panda, panda, panda.
All right, guys. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. We are talking blue pill, red pill. And just to set up the scene here, this is taken from a very well-known movie that you may or may not have seen. For us, we've seen it when did it come out? Probably like, 90s? I think 90s or so?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, it came out a long time ago. Suggest you watch it again. But here's the clip, if you want to go into it, of why we're talking about the blue pill or the red pill. Here we go.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Let's go. Red pill is what he took. Very, very. I'm gonna say. Oh, we gotta send it. Very important. Very important scene here for so many different reasons, and we're kind of gonna break it down and kind of talk about what it really means and our thoughts on the whole thing.
I think what really sparked the conversation was that we were really trying to narrow down what's the hardest part for people when we talk about going to a whole food plant-based diet, or we talk about going into a vegan diet. Like, what is the hardest part for people? And so we started going back and forth, and we're talking about habits, we're talking about traditions, we're talking about what just how people are brought up and what they know, and how scary change is, which I just watched this movie last night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly the red pill, blue pill situation that goes on with Morpheus and what's Keanu Reeves? Neo. Okay. And I'm like, wow, if we can really break it down for people, very simple, then this could be really helpful. So we're going to break it down of how this is the same. It's pretty much correlates to what we're doing here. So go ahead.
So you've heard right in the beginning, choosing, there's no turning back, right? And I think this is very important to kind of set the stage of like, okay, well, what route that you want to go down, if you really want to go down this route of finding out the actual truth. And he mentioned this as well. This is what I'm offering is the actual truth. Or take the blue pill, just, go back to, waking up and kind of doing your everyday thing. I think this is what's absolutely happening with when you start to talk about, diet and eating meat and animal products. This is the exact concept that we can tie this directly into.
Yeah, and I definitely think I was like, you know what? It's not that the information's not out there. It's that we're too scared to see it. Because I think that it is a very much an understanding that when you see the information and you start to arm yourself with facts and knowledge and the truth, it's really hard, and we've said you can't unsee it. Like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's what I think is so scary for people, and why they're keeping themselves at a bay from seeing what's going on. Whether that is like the health facts, whether that is what's going on in the animal industry and the farming industries, or whether that's just understanding and being more educated on all the different climate changes that we're having.
Yeah, I think people are waking up and continuing to take the blue pill over and over and over
Yeah.
and over and over again. And, they want to distance themselves. They really don't want to see the truth because there is no going back. And I keep mentioning this. I mean, when we were getting kind of deep into it, like there was a point where it's like, oh my gosh, like there's like I kind of realized and I thought to myself of I'm not going to ever have a hamburger or ever eat meat again because I was just it's clicked. It made so much sense. But I didn't really want to think about. It was a hard thing to think about because there are so many years left for every single one of us, and for the rest of your life is a huge change. Like it is, but it is like by far the most the a decision that is it's life changing. Like when you start to really think about and this sets in, it is absolutely life changing. And when you think about life changing, like you don't just throw that word out lightly. Like this is for the rest of your life. And when you go by 30 plus years, I mean, just personally speaking, 30 plus years of eating the same way or continuing to eat the same way, that is a huge change to overcome. So I can't imagine you double our years, you get someone who's 60, like our parents age, and then that, can you imagine even double the oomph of trying to change someone that has been just kind of invested and thought like that's all that they've known? So try to change something or change a behavior of someone who that's all that they've known. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. And I honestly, like if we were taking a poll and we would say, hey, what happens if we really were in a situation where we had to choose down a path? Because there's a choice, right? And I think, at the tip of our, we would say, yeah, we would take the red pill. Of course, we want to know the truth, right? But that's really not the reality of what's going on. It's we like the idea of taking the red pill, but so many people want to play it in the safe zone of what they've always known, and it's very clear when you come and you bring it into the world of diet. Like that's just what I know is going on. It's no question in my mind that it's very hard to make that leap over, because right now it feels like the dark side.
I mean, well, it's also comfortable. I mean, where you're at, it's comfortable. It's working. You feel you're healthy. Everything's kind of pointing towards like, yeah, everything's good. If it's not broken, don't fix it. You'll run into that aspect of it, I think. But back to taking the blue pill or the red pill to see the truth, to open up our eyes. I think that a lot of us are neglecting. There's three parts of all of this. Right. And I think so many people are stuck on just the health aspect of it. Right. And so we can go back and forth all day about, eating meat is healthy, eating red meat is healthy, or eggs and protein and milk. And it's, good for my body. And you can go back and forth all day and show me studies
even call
back.
it a draw.
Yeah. And even
whatever
if
you want to do.
So even if, but by the way, like to me, if there's, beyond a reasonable doubt, right? I mean, I would say that you would go off of beyond a reasonable doubt. And if it presented the arguments and the research and the studies, meat and animal products are not winning beyond a reasonable doubt, right? There's things against meat, dairy, and all the animal products that are showing like, wow, this stuff could potentially be harmful. Like studies are showing this. Whether it's not epidemia studies or, controlled variable studies or all sorts of different type of studies, it really doesn't matter all that much, right? So you can show back and forth all day. But it's not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. So I would kind of stay away from it. Wouldn't you? Why would you not stay away from the things that are most likely or potentially harmful to your health? Wouldn't you just stay away from it altogether?
I think it goes back to out of sight, out of mind. Hey, listen, I'm feeling great. This is what, I'm yielding great results and whatever, right? I don't have anybody personally in my family that struggled with illness or sickness or anything that could be relatively linked to diet, right? So I think there's different reasons behind people making that choice.
Okay, so let's just say that you know it's a draw, or
Yeah.
you're still
Yeah.
unconvinced
Yeah.
that
We're just
that
not.
you should give up
Yeah.
meat or dairy or animal products. I think where you next have to then lean into is the industry that by purchasing and consuming these products you're kind of contributing to. And then when you look at the animal perspective, from right, from whether the cow, the chicken, the pig, the whatever industry you want to look at, please do the research on it and understand how these things are happening, and how they get to from the beautiful farm and the pasture, the grass fed that they're raising them on, all the way to your plate and the nice package or whatever, and to the store and onto your plate. Like, there's a whole process where you have to start thinking about, especially from the animal's perspective, because that's what we're doing. And that's the blue pill. Or is it the red pill?
Mine is the blue pill. Yeah, what you're saying is the blue pill.
I mean,
You're the red pill.
so that's
sure.
the truth.
Who
I mean,
cares?
so like, if you want to go deep into this, you have, like, that's the red pill is showing you of exactly what is happening. The blue pill just wakes up and sees a nice package and sees, the patty, and it's you're separating yourself from what it actually is. And that's the hard truth. That's the red pill. The red pill is showing you exactly what's happening, what's going on. Like, you're thinking about it. You're constantly thinking about, those things. And so many people do not want to take that red pill, because can you imagine going, like, every time that you would eat, that you would think about these things?
I think that's why vegans take the stance that they do, because once they see it, they know. Like,
Well,
I don't
you
think,
have to.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if
you have
every
to.
time I sat down and I ate my burger and I started thinking about the cow or the cows that it was made up of, I'd probably not want to eat that burger. And I know this because I hear this other people, when they start talking about these things, they inherently do not want to be unkind to animals. Like, I know that because I hear it all the time. And so they say that they have to put that aside. They can't think of it as one. When you see that food in front of you, you just think of it as food.
Yeah, they're separating it.
They're separating
It's
it.
cognitive dissonance, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's that, right, where you're separating your thoughts of pets versus what we consume, and you're kind of thinking of the package and the ground beef as not actually being an animal that feels and thinks and has a family and wants and doesn't want to die and does not want, like, to be slaughtered. But yet, because of our taste, because we continue to consume these products, is that we're contributing to that. So in my mind, you have now this evidence, or this actual factual truth of what's actually happening. Like, mind you, studies and all of that, like, that's, you can go back and forth on that. Next, let's bring it to the animals, and these are facts. These are actual things that are happening, and there's no denying it. So you can say that, it's happening, and like, I would say go visit one. I mean, but it's.
I don't even think you need to go visit one. There's just so much information. But I will say this. I don't know how many times I've heard people tell me that they don't want to see those videos, that they just do not show me those. I don't want to see them. Keep them away. And I know the reason why. It's very hard to watch. It's very hard to see. And
well, one of the main reasons why I think humans and people in general do not want to see the videos is because they're afraid that that's the video that's going to get them to, like, stop eating meat. And I think that that's one of the main reasons why people don't want to see it, because deep down they know that, like, if they watch it and it kind of sets in, like, it's it's like almost like putting your
But
hand on
listen,
an
hey,
oven
listen, it's a
and
different.
it's getting warm.
I think it's gonna trigger, but I want to say this though. I want to say that we watched a few videos, and I wouldn't say it was even the very first video or the second video or the third video. I can't remember, to be honest. That really changed and had the light switch in my mind and in my head of what was really going out there and the reality of the situation. So I can't say that, like, even, but I will say that I never was scared. I would say, oh, we were like, dude, turn off the TV. Didn't we do that?
Well, here,
I can't remember,
the thing
but-
is, I think we compartmentalized, and we did this, right? We saw the cows and everything, and we agreed with that, right? I think then we still said that, like, oh, chickens and eating eggs, like, it's okay, and like we kind of justified our,
We needed
you
to
know, we
educate
kind of
ourselves
we
more
kind of
on
picked
that.
and choose what we held on to. I mean, we considered ourselves plant-based, but still, ate eggs. And that's, and I, technically, I mean, that's okay. Like, we're majority plant-based, but, to be now understanding, like, okay, all, like, animal products, like, we still were on our journey, and now knowing what we know now, there's no question, vegan, plant-based.
Yeah.
So, red pill, blue pill, what we're, to kind of wrap all this up under 20 minutes, the red pill is the truth. And that's what's like, we're basically, we want you have to take the red pill at some point or another in your life, in your journey. You have to take the red pill. You have to you have to accept the red pill. Now, whether you sprint through that door or, you go all in, or you start to take bits and pieces of that, that's the journey. Okay. So what we're finding is, even my dad, and, he is taking the red pill. Okay. You watch Game Changers, you start listening, you start opening up your ears, and you start questioning. I think the most important thing, you start questioning, but taking the red pill is now you're accepting. You start to begin to accept instead of push away, instead of not look, instead of not talk about it. The red pill is signifying you're acknowledging the knowledge is out there, and you're beginning to learn on your own, because you can't listen to a PhD, or you don't take anybody's word for it, or a certified trainer or certified person in nutrition. Don't take any of their words. You have to find out for yourself. And by taking that red pill, you're accepting, you're ready to accept the truth. And then becomes, okay, you like, clearly you have to know where the information is coming from, because there's so much bias information out there. But I think when you sort through it all, you'll begin to understand and realize, like, what we're doing. And it's the truth. You can't take it away. And so many people are stuck on the blue pill day in, day out, and they'll always, and I feel bad. I mean, they'll continue to take the blue pill because it's comfortable, it's easy, it's, it's quick, it's convenient, because bacon, because all of these things that are just aren't true, And so I just want everybody, like, I'm trying to feed everybody the red pill, and I think that's the answer. I think the timing for everybody is just different.
20 minutes.
Still got time, Abe.
Okay.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.